Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this Tuesday pre-Cinco de Drinko edition of Betting the Diagonal. I am your host this evening at MoWatts26 Morgan. I am here with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Billy the Kid. How are we doing tonight, baby?
I feel great. Vaccine completed. Left arm, can't feel it. But I look good. I feel good. I have a fresh haircut. I know
You look
can't
like
tell.
$1,000,000.
Thank you. I feel like $24.37.
I mean, I actually think you look like whatever Dogecoin is sitting at right now.
Oh well, wait till the weekend when it goes up even more, baby.
Oh man,
Elon's gonna be on SNL. It's gonna be a beautiful week for all my bag holders.
It's one of the best weeks of the year. You know, we have my favorite holiday tomorrow, which will be today when this episode comes out. I can't wait. Before we even get into any sports things, what's our first drink tomorrow morning? What are we cracking first? Right now, I got a pineapple White Claw right now getting ready.
Oh,
What
I'll
are
be
we drinking first
tequila
tomorrow?
at work all day tomorrow.
That's what I love to hear. That's what I love to hear. I got a breakfast marg already set to go. I have huevos rancheros ready for breakfast tomorrow morning. I'll have a nice little burrito in the evening. I'll have margs all day. I got some mamitas, which are some tequila sodas. I'm very excited to give them a whirl. It's a great day. It's a great sports day tomorrow. But that's what we're here for, right? So let's recap a couple of things that have happened in the past few days since everybody who's looking at my beautiful face and your somewhat average-looking face last saw us and everything. That was mean. After I just said how gorgeous and everything you were looking, that was tough. I'll apologize for that early. We had the great American race this past weekend.
Because
Kentucky Derby. We had the Kentucky Derby this past week. What do we think? We both loved one specific horse. Who was that horse? Let's let the viewers. We still love this horse.
Oh, I still love this horse. It's what I like to drink every night, right around that same time. Midnight Bourbon. It's a goddamn shame he never had a chance.
Never had a shot.
Wasn't even close.
Everybody loves a little Midnight Bourbon and a cigar in the middle of the night. Sounds like a pretty damn good time to me. Medina Spirit winning the race at plus 1,200. That was a great race. Absolutely great race. It was exciting. Photo finish right down to the wire. I'm on the edge of my seat. I know we were texting back and forth, and you were saying, I can't bet the ponies. It's too dangerous. I love betting the ponies.
I hate it.
It is one of my favorite things. I love going to the track and just sitting there and getting up and yelling as loud as I can. You roll up the little newspaper and you're like, go, go. It's one of the best feelings alive. When you win, there is nothing better. When you lose, it's just like every other loser you've ever had. You know, it's and you just lose a little bit extra money usually.
Nah, I would become too emotionally invested in a horse's name for that. Can't do it.
I've had horses that I've screamed at, and I've had horses that I love. I've had horses that I've yelled, need to go to the glue factory right afterwards because they've lost me so much money. I've had other horses that because I've won, I've wanted to go buy. So I think I'm eventually one of these days when you hit the Bitcoin Dogecoin market and I hit the Hosecoin market, I think we should buy a horse. I have a betting the diagonal horse.
I know a way to get a horse. I know a guy.
You got a guy. I got a name for the horse already. We'll call him Greg. It's a surefire, guaranteed winner every single time. He will be a favorite instantly amongst everybody.
He'll have weak calves like the other Greg I know.
We will say, though, if Greg's watching this, we love Greg. Greg's going through a lot of stuff and everything. Absolutely, we love Greg. It's all fun and games.
Come on, man. Hold on. You know he's not watching because he wasn't watching when he was on the show.
It is what it is. You know, you gotta cover our asses sometimes, right? We had another really nice big event this past weekend. We had a nice huge show with FFD podcast, a nice 4.5-hour live stream. Jeez. The NFL draft. Let's talk your team real fast. You know, my mock draft had me taking Najee Harris at pick 24 in the draft. You took Najee Harris. I'm just gonna pat myself on the back right now for that one. Pretty good. What do you think of your draft? Who do you think's your favorite rookie of the year right now?
Oh, rookie of the year is gonna be tough. Off the top,
don't really have odds just yet. I'm sure once it gets to the time, we will absolutely have odds that we will be betting on. But what are you thinking so
They
far?
they're gonna
Early?
give it. I know who they're gonna give it to. They're gonna give it to Trevor Lawrence. It's not really gonna be a competition unless he just absolutely stinks, which I think he does. That's neither here nor there. If you want more Trevor Lawrence slander, hop over to FFD podcast. All year long I'll be giving it out. I don't care if he's better than Patrick Mahomes. He's gonna get that slander.
I just want
That
Trevor.
unnecessary.
My hair is significantly better than his is. I don't get confused for females going through the airport or anything. My
You just
man,
get confused with that guy from TLC. That's it.
like yeah, all right, we're moving on.
You know what? You brought it up.
I'm gonna get rattled real fast. um, but yeah, aside from Trevor Lawrence, if that's the obvious one, what do you think? I think Devontae Smith definitely has a shot. I think that's a great scenario. Najee Harris has a good shot. I think definitely.
I think it could be Najee, but they struggled to run the ball last year as well, and they just let Villanueva walk, who just signed with the their arch rivals in the Ravens. I think he's supposed to play right tackle for the Ravens this year, which is a little bugged
He's
out
gonna
to me.
he's gonna kick over with Orlando Brown being traded to the Chiefs. You still have Ronnie Stanley over there at left tackle.
Problem is he can't run block anymore, so
I remember Alejandro Villanueva was actually in training camp with the Eagles as a rookie, and we cut him, and then he goes on and becomes a Pro Bowler for another team. It's kind of just par for the course with us. We just, we suck. It is what it is. Yeah, I think one of my favorite sleepers, and I had him in my draft going right before your guys, Javonte Williams, UNC running back, went to the Jets in the second round. Loved it. I absolutely loved it. Had him going to the Jets in the first round.
yeah,
I
didn't happen.
absolutely love that fit. We'll see what happens with that. We're not going to talk about defensive rookie of the year. Who gives a crap about that right now? We'll get into a rookie of the year episode. Before we start talking some picks and everything, get into the real contest, there's some really big things happening right now in the NFL world. Some big, groundbreaking things are happening. The Eagles are the 27th ranked team in the power rankings. No, I'm just kidding. I don't give a shit about that. We're going for a 3-14 season. I'm hoping we have the first 3-14 season ever. Mr. Aaron himself, Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. It has actually hit the fan now. We thought it was getting close, and it was starting to. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, that's what happens when year in and year out you don't get him the weapons that you need. There's only so much that a man can muster, Like he said, I need weapons. He said, okay.
I'll raise
Let's
you
not get you one.
Draft the first round quarterback.
Yeah. Last year they drafted first round quarterback.
I gotta say, we were on the stream when it happened when they took Eric Stokes at pick 29. We all just were like, "Whoa, how can you disrespect this man that much?"
Jaws dropped. It
was an absolute stunner. They already have a somewhat decent corner core. They paid a lot of money to Kevin King. They have Jair Alexander still back there. It's
you hate to see it.
I don't think you. I know they. I think it was a second round pick they used on a wide receiver. Then
third round.
Third round even.
He took Amari Rodgers.
Nice player out of Clemson. That's not I'm trying to think who's some. Terrence Mitchell, one of my favorite receivers coming out of draft. Oof, jeez. I can't. I could not imagine being Aaron Rodgers right now.
I don't know how you drop the ball. It wasn't hard.
No, you had an easy pick. Get him a weapon.
He either wants to trade, or he'll retire. He said he's not playing. And I don't know if you caught this with all that mumbo jumbo. Deshaun Watson most likely not going to play next year.
I saw that. That's pretty shocking too. Which means we might see the Davis Mills show down there in Houston. We might. I'm thinking next year Houston probably drafting a quarterback pretty high.
Probably with the number one pick.
It could very well be with the number one pick. There's a couple quarterbacks out there. Spencer Rattler might be a guy who ends up being a first round conversation. I really like Tyler Shaw.
I hate Rattler.
I don't like him either, but he'll be in the conversation. I don't like Sam Howell, but he'll be in the conversation. Tyler, I think his last name is Shaw. transferred from Oregon down to Texas Tech. I do like him a lot. I think he could be pretty darn good. So we'll see what happens there. Some interesting things, but gut check. Aaron Rodgers, opening night. Is he traded? Is he retired? Is he a Packer?
He's holding out.
Holding out. All right. I think Aaron Rodgers will be a Miami Dolphin by opening night.
He's not even. That's not even in his consideration.
I think when you have a actress fiance / soon to be wife, Miami is always going to be in the conversation.
No, it's not going to be. Because it's not. He said 3 teams he'd be willing to trade to. 49ers, Broncos, and the Giants, for whatever fucking reason that is.
Oh, God, I can just imagine how Jared's feeling right now. He's just sitting there salivating.
As a Giants fan, I am not one, but if you are a Giants fan, most of my friends are, you don't want him. You don't want a 38-year-old quarterback that you're just going to have to rebuild around again in a couple years when he retires. You don't want that burden on you. You don't need that.
I will say, Aaron Rodgers would look good in a San Francisco or Denver jersey. Giant jersey, nah. Miami jersey look okay, but a San Fran Denver jersey, that'd be pretty fresh.
If he does get traded, I think he does go to Denver. That's
Denver,
my gut feeling.
They got a lot of nice weapons on that offense building around there.
Oh yeah.
I don't see it just because I know he's nowhere near obviously Rodgers' caliber, but he just traded for Teddy Bridgewater now, so you're gonna have a lot. That's a lot of money then to invest in the quarterback room. I don't see it, but I'm sure you can get out of Teddy Bridgewater real fast if you get Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, they just cut Drew Luck's contract, and
Yeah, Drew Luck, what a bum, what a loser. I will say one thing about Drew Lock. He's got a smoking hot girlfriend.
Yeah, he does.
I'll just leave it at that. I may or may not follow her on Instagram.
Oh, jeez.
That's neither here nor there.
Rest in peace to Philip Lindsay, because I'm taking yet another running back, adding it to that room. Such a goddamn shame.
Melvin Gordon owners look away. Yeesh. Tough. It's a tough world out there. It's a tough world to be a running back. You know who was a great pickup though? Kenneth Gainwell to the Eagles. That was a pretty nice pickup. Moving on.
They can't run the ball. It doesn't matter.
Of course not. We're not gonna score a touchdown in 17 games.
Well, that's a hot take. What's the over under in that?
We might get shut out every single game. We will give up 30 points every single game. Everybody at this point should have seen the clip of the Eagles front office after they took Milton Williams in the 3rd round. We are the most dysfunctional franchise in sports. I would like to officially be known as the Jets from here on out. It is disgusting what's happening down there. Yeah. I'm getting further into the closet with my Eagles fanhood. That's all I got to say.
Oh, with that hair, it looks like you're coming out of the closet.
And on that note, do you have any little tidbits or anything you want to get into before we start talking about some picks for tomorrow?
No, baby. I'm all good.
All right.
That hair, you got to do something with it. That's all I got to say.
Well, you see, I would have wore the headband, but I got chirped on the live stream that I wear the Phillies headband way too much. So we're going to just go on natural and let her hang.
Need some variety.
I got to go headband shopping tomorrow after my appointments that I have to go to, apparently.
This is my business partner. That's what headband shopping after
That's right. We're going to get in. We're going in on a horse, baby. Can't wait. All right. Let's talk some picks. Wednesday's card. Billy, lead us off. What are we looking at for you tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I'm heading to the ice first. I am still hot, still at 59% on the year. I don't know the exact record.
Fun fact, interrupt you real quick. I almost finished half of my classes in college with a 59%.
Yeah, well, look at your hair. You can imagine why. I went 2-2 since I last updated the ranking, the record, so nothing has changed. First up on the card is a little possible revenge game for the Rangers, but I am going with the Capitals money line against the Rangers. After the altercation from that dirty little man, Tom Wilson.
That he is something else.
Yeah. in Monday's game. This should be a good game to watch as a hockey fan. My Islanders don't play tomorrow, so this will probably be one of the two games I do watch tomorrow. Um, the Rangers are going to be out for payback. Try to get some little blood in the water. You know what I'm saying? But they don't have an enforcer. They don't have somebody that can just bang people around, just start a brawl right at the opening face-off. They're going to try to come out. The Rangers, I should say, are going to try to come out with real aggressive style. Finishing through checks. Being extremely physical. But that plays perfectly into what the Caps do. The Caps are just a better team, and the Rangers stink, especially with Panarin not going to be playing tomorrow. Give me the Capitals money line. The next one is a 2-for-1. The Wild plus 1.5 and the money line against the Golden Knights of Las Vegas. Fun fact: the Wild just have the Knights number. In the history of the Knights team franchise, the Wilds are 11-2-2 all time, and 5-1-1 this season. The Wild are 9-2 in their last 11 games, and they're 7-1. They also defend home ice very, very well, and posting a 19-5 record at home. Minnesota's going to be fired up after that wild 5-3 comeback. I love it. They scored 3 goals in 9 minutes. I caught the third period of that game, and it was electric. Absolutely electric. It's what you want to see in your hockey fan. Give me the Wild plus 1.5 and a little bit on the money line. It's currently at plus 125, I believe. It's not really crazy, but give it to me anyway. The next one, Sens Canadians under 5.5. Senators are 14-4-3 to the under in their last 21 games, and you go to the other side of the puck. Canadians are 15-5-2 to the under in the last 22 games. Little Greg 22 double peace sign against teams with a losing record. So it's 15-5-2 to the under. I'm playing that one based off the stats. I have one hockey play for Thursday. I don't bet on my own team, but I really do expect to bounce back for the Isles on Thursday after dropping 2 games back to back against the shitty Sabres. They're going against the Devils. If that money line is anywhere under minus 200, I'd take it and run if I were you. I won't be betting on it because that's my team. I don't do that. I have principles unlike this swine over here, that little girly hair. I don't bet on my teams no matter what. It's a thing. Headed over to the hardwood. I have 3.5 plays. I added the one at the end. Sixers first half. Plain and simple. It works. I really like the Sixers first quarter. I don't have the number for it yet, but I love it. Give me that because, let's be honest, we don't even know if the Sixers can close out the first half nowadays. Next one. This one's going to bring out my inner Jared. Knicks
Oh
tape.
God.
You know the
Oh my
vibe. All
God.
day. Knicks tape. Knicks is hot. I hopped on the bandwagon before the season started, so I am officially a Knicks fan. I'm riding hot teams going into the playoffs. Give the Knicks money line versus the Nuggets, who may or may not have Jokic tomorrow. He's questionable for tomorrow. And the last play is the Hawks plus 2.5. You're going to have a better stat than me, but I saw that a lot of sharp money was coming in on the Hawks early, according to my little sources. That's a little bandwagon play. Hopefully, it'll work out for me. Morgan, what do you got?
I do like those. I want to correct something I said actually a few minutes ago first. Jets took Michael Carter out of UNC, not Javonte Williams. I got my UNC running backs mixed up. Javonte Williams with the Broncos, like we were saying, you were kind of alluding to. I like both of those
Hopefully,
guys.
thought you would fix your mistake. This is not
Yes.
just a strictly football show. It wasn't
No,
going to
no, no. I
jump down.
was thinking about it. I started, and once you mentioned the Broncos running back, I started to think about it a little more. Like, oh, I got the running backs mixed up here. You can't have two top, high level running backs at the same college. It just messes with the head. All right. It's a morally corrupt institution. Is that even their names? I have no idea. I don't believe anything that UNC does. They probably lied about everything. But moving on, we're not getting into that rant tonight. We'll do that on a different night. That's a different stream. First games we're going to look at tomorrow are going to be on the NBA hard floor. What the fuck? I just opened up a new tab. My mistake. Here we go. I'm going to keep running with the Sixers, laying 15 to the Houston Rockets. The Rockets are the worst team in the NBA. Against the spread this year, Houston is 22-43, while the Sixers are 34, 28, and 3. Houston Rockets, I love the first half bet as well. I will be playing that also. The Sixers are trying to round into form as the playoffs are gearing up. They now have a 2-game lead over the Nets. Actually, I think it's the Nets and Milwaukee tied for second and third. I think Milwaukee technically has it because of head-to-heads. But they have a 2-game lead on it. They're trying to round into form. They have a lot of guys who are kind of getting used to playing with each other after having some injuries in there. And Embiid's trying to make that last-second push for an MVP award. It's going to be tough. I don't know. I still believe that he can get it. But we'll see. He just now, with last night's game, hit enough games played to qualify amongst the league leaders and everything. He's currently third in the league in scoring at 29 points per night. He would only be the second center ever to score more than 29 points per night. You know who the only other guy is?
No idea.
Bill Russell.
Oh.
Only other center to do it. Shaq didn't do it. Wilt didn't do it. It would be a very rare company. So I love the Sixers laying the 15 there. Next game, we'll take the Jazz laying 7 against the Spurs. Another team kind of rounding into form as the playoff gets near. Jazz have kind of fallen off a little bit. Everyone was on the Jazz bandwagon real heavy in the beginning of the season. They've cooled off significantly. They are definitely battling a little bit more for positioning now. However, they have still had a phenomenal season. They are one of the best teams in the league against the spread. They're 37-28. Now against that, also, San Antonio is very good against the spread, but I'm going to go with the better team. I'm also going to go with the fact that this team is being played in Utah. So we're going to have a home court advantage for the Jazz, who have one of the best home courts advantage there is in the NBA. I hate this pick. I'm going to hate myself for saying it. Go ahead. I know you already smiled. Say it one more time.
Knicks tape, baby. All day, you know the vibe. Yeah, let's go Knicks tape, baby.
We're going to take the Knicks tape. Billy, if I ask you who is the best team in the NBA against the spread, you will say who?
The New York Knicks.
It is the New York Knicks. They are 42, 22, and 1 against the spread this season. They covered again today and won outright. They are on an absolute heater right now. They are looking like a sure thing for the 4th seed in the East. They're a dangerous team, much more than I gave them credit for in the past few weeks. So I will 1,000% give them credit. I do not think they can compete with the top 3 teams in the East. However, I do think they are the top team in the second tier in the East. That I would think that they have a good shot at getting past Boston if they have to play them, because Boston cannot guard a big man. Julius Randle's pretty good. He's figured some things out from his Laker days. So I do like the Knicks to cover, even though it will be on a back-to-back. I do like their chances to cover that game and win outright. I will take the Knicks plus 3.5 and the Knicks money line in that game. Next one, you kind of alluded to earlier, the Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta, when they fired Lloyd Pierce as coach, were 11-17. Billy, do you know what Atlanta's record is now?
11-17. Not definitely not their record. That was a record before. Don't know off the top of my head. Do not.
So when they fired Lloyd Pierce, they were 11-17. They brought in Nate McMillan to be the coach. Since that point, Atlanta on the season is now 36-30, leading the Southeast Division over the likes of Miami, over Charlotte. They're looking like they have a good shot at the 6th seed, possibly the 5 seed if they can catch Boston. Outside shot at the 4 seed. They put some things together. They won a big game yesterday against the Trailblazers, another team that's really battling out in the West, and everybody loves to say that the West teams are much better than the East are. They're firing on all cylinders. They are one of the most dangerous teams in the league. They're 36-29-1 against the spread on the season. They have been just killing it of late. So I'm going to keep riding with what's hot. Plus 2.5 Hawks. Again, might look at the Hawks money line as well. This time of year, you roll with that hot team that's got the money going for them. Last NBA play that I'm going to definitely have from on there, maybe still be more because it's Wednesday card, baby. It's Cinco de Drinko. I'm not going to be able to control myself. I know you're not going to be able to control yourself. This could be the biggest card I've ever posted. It's a disaster to have Wednesday card day on Cinco de Mayo. It does not bode well for me. But I will be on the Kings plus 6.5 against the Pacers. Yes, the Pacers are coming off a game where I believe they won by 56 points against the Thunder, the biggest blowout in NBA history. However, a bombshell, I won't say a bombshell because it's Indiana. Nobody cares about Indiana. But a semi-bombshell report came out this evening about the Pacers and their coach. I'm not even going to attempt to say his last name because it's a tough one. But basically that he has a fractured and terrible relationship with every player on his team and his coaching staff.
It's not
What that
ideal.
tells me, that's not ideal. And what that tells me is roll with the Kings and take those points. Because while the Kings might be dysfunctional, they're not that dysfunctional right now. So give me that 6.5 to win against the Pacers. Might even look to take them outright as well. I got to feast off that dysfunction, Got to do what you got to do. The Kings have been an okay team this year. They're under 500 against the spread. However, their record is better than Indiana is. Kings are 29-35-1 against the spread. So we'll see what happens there. That'll be the NBA. Baseball. Have a nice little baseball action. It's a beautiful day tomorrow for some baseball games. First one we will take. I know you're taking this is Billy's nap time here. A nice little 5-minute nap every episode. First game that I will be on is the White Sox getting plus 1.5 against the Reds, simply because the White Sox are the better team. Reds can score, but the White Sox have the better pitcher going on the mound. It'll be Dallas Keuchel versus Sonny Gray. White Sox are playing better baseball of late. They have a ton of injuries. They've lost two of their best bats pretty much for the entire season. Tony La Russa is going to have to start to rely on those young guys, which he does not like to do. But we'll take that. Here's a fun one for you. I'm going to take the Orioles' first 5 money line against the Mariners, but I'm going to take the Mariners' money line for the game. The Orioles tomorrow have John Means, who's on the mound for them. Not too many people know who John Means is. They're the Baltimore Orioles. They're not very good. John Means has been one of the best pitchers in the American League thus far this season, and he's on a streak of 3 straight quality starts, which for those like yourself, the casual baseball fans, a quality start is when you go 6 innings and allow less than 3 runs. He's got 3 straight starts of that caliber. He's playing pretty well. The Orioles actually have not been the most terrible team in the league. However, to the run line this year, the Mariners are 20-10 thus far on the season. So give me the Orioles' first 5 innings with the better starting pitcher, but give me the Mariners to win on the run line and take the money line to win the game. Next one I'll have is going to be the Brewers against the Phillies. Brewers money line. Phillies almost blew it again this evening. Our bullpen is in complete shambles again. Hopefully it's not to the caliber of last year where they finished with the second highest bullpen ERA of all time. I mean, it's impressive. And ironically enough, the number 1 spot also belongs to a Philadelphia franchise. We just don't know how to have a bullpen. Probably not going to have Hector Neris, who's the Phillies closer, available after he threw 44 pitches last night. A lot of the guys are taxed. It's one of our worst starters going, whereas the Brewers have one of their aces pitching. Give me the Brewers money line. And then I'm going to do 2 first 5 inning money lines as well. I'm going to do a parlay on this one. Dodgers-Padres first 5 parlay, simply because of the starting pitchers that are going out there. Padres will have Yu Darvish on the mound, who was, I believe, either the runner-up or came in 3rd in Cy Young voting last year. Dodgers will have Walker Buehler on the mound, who got an extra day of rest today after there was a rain out yesterday. So we'll take them as well. We'll parlay those 2 together. Last 2 things I'm going to go over that I have picks on, and I know you guys this as well. Champions League action tomorrow. Real Madrid plus 260 to make it to the Champions League final over Chelsea. Real Madrid is the best team historically in all of soccer. This is what they live for. They play for these big moments. They're going to come out to show the world that you should not have abandoned the Super League. Chelsea was one of the first teams to get out after the Super League, which Real Madrid and their president, Florentino Perez, came up with the idea. They're going to try to beat them and just take them down in their stadium to knock them out. The last soccer play I'll have with tomorrow, Sergio Ramos plus 1,200 to score a goal. He is arguably the all-time best center back in all of soccer. He is one of the best clutch performers of all time. He is coming back from injury tomorrow. He is a big-time player. He shows up in big moments. I think he will put a header in on a corner kick. Let's even say in the 38th minute of the match. Yes.
For the record, boys and girls, I think that's a terrible bet.
I disagree. That's why I'm riding with it. I disagree. I think it's a great bet. So Sergio Ramos plus 1,200 to win, or I'm sorry, to score a goal. Last things I have, and I'll have more about this as the week goes on. We're going to do this a little bit early because we're going to have one episode come out this week. Our man's Billy here has a wedding to go to, so he's going to be a little preoccupied with some things this week.
I'm going to be what they call white girl wasted.
He is going to be white girl wasted all week with Cinco de Mayo tomorrow, wedding the rest of the week. Boys, girls, this might be the last time we ever see a sober Billy. He might show up drunk from now on because he's going to drink so much.
This is one of the rare times I'm actually sober on the show, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's it's wild. We're maturing a little bit on this show. We're bringing new content.
He let his hair down.
We haven't made any oral jokes in a few weeks. The orals kind of run dry, so sometimes you got to spit on it a little bit, but I had to throw one in there. But I'll have two. There will be more golf plays coming up. I do have two plays for the sport for the Wells Fargo Championship. Victor Hovland at plus 2,200, coming off a third place finish at the Valspar. I think it's Invitational. I like him to win this one. I also like as a deep sleeper Shane Lowry at plus 6,000 to win this tournament. Just by the fact that he's played somewhat consistent golf this year. Nothing too crazy. Again, I'll have more on this later in the week. I'll tell you this right now. Anybody's listening to this, do not, and he's one of the favorites to win, do not put your money on Justin Thomas. I've done some JT digging today, and I found some interesting articles. One very interesting stat on Justin Thomas. Since March 1st, in tournaments and rounds that he has played, he is gaining 3.5 strokes on average every round he plays. You don't want to do that. You want to lose strokes. You don't want to gain strokes. Justin Thomas is playing terrible golf thus far this year. I don't know why he's getting so much love as a favorite. I will not touch him with a 30-foot broom. I want nothing to do with him. Again, if you're listening to this, do not put your money on Justin Thomas. If he somehow wins, you can come at me and give me as much crap as you possibly want. My DMs are open. Come after me.
What are his odds?
His odds. Let me see. Hold on, I had it right here. Justin Thomas. I got Real Madrid still up. Justin Thomas to win is plus 900 favorite.
I'll take it.
All right. When he loses and he gets embarrassed and he misses the cut, don't come crying to me. I've warned you. I told you. I tried to save you your money. This could be more Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Hogecoin money.
I'm a little distracted. Dogecoin is currently at 66 cents.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good.
That's pretty damn good.
It's pretty damn good.
That's not bad. But that's all the picks I have for tomorrow and a couple more days in. I'll be keeping up with it. Billy, I don't expect you to be too busy with picks this week. Obviously, you got a lot of commitments going on. I will make sure I pick
I'll be
out
drunk
there
and I'll be throwing them up.
This account's going to get reloaded with so much money.
I'll have a pick for the Canelo fight this weekend. I'll have a few things.
That's happening. I'm not gonna lie. I forgot, and I'm embarrassed to say this as a sports fan. I forgot the Canelo fight's happening this weekend. I was watching Canelo highlights of one of his last fights and how he's just such a great defensive boxer and just makes so many guys miss left and right.
From Floyd.
Yeah, I'll definitely have something on the Canelo fight as well. That'll come out on probably Thursday, Friday cards. I'll put those out there so we can get some picks. I got to do a little thing. I already know I'll be on Canelo in some form or fashion because he's good. But that's all the picks I got. Billy, you got any last things you want to throw in? Or other than that, shut us down. Close us out.
I want to say that Floyd Mayweather has no business fighting Logan Paul. I want to say that
isn't it Jake? I thought he was doing Jake Paul.
Pretty sure it's Logan. They look the same to me. I don't know. They both listen. Both those kids control. I hate them both, but they both know how to fight. So it'll be interesting. Don't bet on that fight. I'll tell you right now, don't bet on that fight. It's going to be a charity fight. There's going to be specific rules that they're not going to tell you until you've already placed your bet and then you'll go to watch it like, oh wow, there's no knockout. Oh wow, this is gonna be end in a draw. Wow, who would have thought? Same thing happened with the Tyson fight. Be very careful of these exhibitions. Um, Besides that, shout out to Mike, Mr. Mike Hartree himself, tying the knot, the old ball and chain, as he would like to say. We are getting sufficiently wasted. All of our good friends and all of the Degenerate family. I expect Morgan to be blackout drunk when I call him at 3 in the morning with Greg sitting by my side. Hopefully, all that is well. It's going to be a good time.
Uh,
Um, no,
yeah,
FFG content coming out.
a Greg sighting is more rare than like an albino deer sighting.
It's more rare than you winning a fucking bet in golf. I'll tell you that. Boom.
All right. Shut us down, Billy. Close us out.
I got FFG content coming out very soon. Mike's part of that. He's getting married this weekend. That's why it's taking a little bit longer. Follow me at BillyFFD on Twitter. That is Mr. Mo Watts. You got 26 in the back of there or no? That's
Oh,
just
Watts 26, baby.
Mr. Mo Watts 26. Morgan, you have anything you're doing this weekend, or is that it besides drinking?
I might have a nice little soiree with the fantasy baseball boys from college. We might be getting together. What's the best part about it is everybody gets blackout drunk, and it just becomes a giant trade fest. And we have 5-way trades happening with every single team in the league, and I cannot wait for it.
There's going to be
Forward for trades.
a lot of keeper league, dynasty league trade talk during this wedding. You know, the last wedding we were at, I was facing the groom. I had to smack the shit out of him. I had to say it during his speech. Hate to say it. Anyway, I'm Billy FFD, Mr. Mo Watts 26.
26.
Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify. Like, follow, subscribe. Give us a review. Tell us how much you love Morgan's hair. Tell me how great my picks are. We love you, and we will see you next week.